Hello out there. Happy Friday evening. Hello Instagram. Wagwan. Okay. Hey everybody. Happy Friday night. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you coming down to my living room here in Burlington, Vermont. This is the tonight I'm going to do songs from all of my records. I've put out 12 records officially since 2002, and here we go. This is the first song from my first record. I'm not playing every song from every record, not tonight, but I'll play some selections from each. First song from the first record. Here we go. I'm giving up the cigarettes and I'm tired of the drinking. I think I'll learn a second language. Got some friends in Puerto Rican. Speaking of my friends, I know they don't always keep me in line, but I swear they're full of wisdom, and I'm learning all the time. And I know I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get somewhere someday, but in this there are no shortcuts, no how, no way. I've been living my life, longing for a city, longing for something I can call my own. I ain't talking about love, I do not ask for pity, I just want a little bit of something when I'm feeling down. I've done my time, and now I find I wanna sit there, but I'm knocking on that steeple door and I'm waiting for an answer. My skin is stuck in bubblegum, my heart starts beating faster. What if there is no design? What if God don't have a plan? I'll start screaming at the mezzanine, but an old priest let me in, sit me down, says, son, you got someone up there, ain't never gonna let you down. But in this there are no shortcuts, no way, no how. I've been living my life, longing for a city, longing for something I can call my own. I ain't talking about luck, I do not ask for pity, I just want a little bit of something when I'm feeling down. I've done my time, and now I find I wanna sit there. That's City from the first record, Begin. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I feel like we're gonna get the OGs tonight. We're gonna get the people. I'm kind of focusing on a lot of the older stuff, and I'll kind of probably fly through the later records because you hear a lot of that stuff anyway. But that was City from the Begin record, which I put out in 2002, which is a picture of me in front of a tunnel in Boston, kind of an overpass over by the Museum of Science there. And there's a picture of little youngin' Ryan on the back. Aww. But anyway, 2002. I used to do this song back in those days, back when I was shuffling paper. I had an internship, a couple of ad agencies when I was in college. I worked in an office a little bit, and my father came from that world. And I think this song was part of my rebellion against it. Radio blaring, people find strength to get up and feel around. Steppers in the same place, coat ties staring. Water hits the face and I can see now. Gray suit and blue tie, staring at the back of a van. Same road and same ride with the traffic backed up again. Ain't no sight of the sunshine yet, only looking forward to later. Said maybe I can dream in the afternoon, but as for right now it's time for shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Paperclip your cheap conversation. Some of those people I'd be ashamed to call my peers. Staring at the coffee pot, staring at the digital clock. 7 more hours of this shit. Cubicle next to me says hi every now and again. nothing more exciting than a closet full of pencils and pens. Can't think of nothing more stimulating than a neon light and a stapler. Swear if I didn't have to pay my bills, I'd never wanna be here shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper, yeah, yeah. You can kiss my ass, says goodbye. You're a liability to my way of life. I'm insured, but I have no assurance that what I do here makes any single bit of difference. Besides shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper, yeah. You can kiss my ass, it's goodbye. You're a liability to my way of life. I'm insured, but I have no assurance that what I do here makes any single bit of difference. Besides shuffling paper. Shuffling paper, yeah. Shuffling paper. Shuffling paper, yeah. Shuffling paper. All right. There was one on the first record also. I'll do one more from that first record, Begin. It was a cool experience for me to go listen to the old records and not hate them, which it's not always the case. It's tough to listen to your old stuff, and it's like a success. Anytime you can listen to your old stuff as an artist and not cringe, it's like, all right, you must be in a good mood or it's successful. It's just like, because when you make a record, you're just kind of already beyond it. You listen to them a bunch while you make them, and then you basically never listen to them again. But once in a while, you go back. And so it was cool this week to go back and just be like, wow. I don't know, I used to play a lot more blues and stuff, and a lot of things, you know. You're kind of naive in certain ways and really bold in other ways when you're younger. I don't know. It was a cool experience for me. But this song was on the first record. And this song is, I'm going to do a song called Pleasure Fields. And this is one of the only songs I've ever written and put on a record where I wrote all of the lyrics first. Basically, I wrote a poem, and then I set music to it, which is something I basically have never done other than this song. Maybe have done it before, but not much. So, and I don't know if anybody remembers this. So these three are from the first record, Begin. But before that, I was calling my band Palabra. And if anybody has this, that's real old school. This is called 6 or 7 songs because there's 6 songs listed, but we had a hidden track, a live version of Shuffling Paper at the end. And this is James Cohen on drums, who would be my drummer for a long time, and Paul Finlan on bass. And we made this before Begin. I made this in 2001, I guess it says it put it out. And we made this in my parents' living room in Peabody, Massachusetts, on my little 4-track. And at Pleasure Fields is the first song. I'm gonna do that one. And then I used to make these. Like I used to go down. I used to like get the CDs printed on, and then I would go down to Kinko's and get this colored paper, and I got a paper cutter, and I would just cut out all the labels and make them all look nice. And before this, I had a tape. That was my first thing, was a demo tape. That's how far back that went. But I put the lyrics to Pleasure Fields inside that, which is just a poem. Which the poem is: quiet auburn oaken chest, cherry tobacco and night worn, the leaves are at their ripest. Wool knit and fire warmed, brisk is somewhere near, but for now just hazy, ever-burning maze of red ash will flush us clear. In it, within it, waves pass through, but understanding that you're there. And in a rush of airiness, lightly hammered into shape, frozen amber thawed and stewed in crusted September bake, and comes the sunshine, honey haze, maze of eon, day of days, a comfort in each air, nothing rotten, not yet bare, but there in that honeysuckle glow, you'd swear you saw it, you'd swear you'd known, whether yellow-feathered cottontail or bluebird singing sigh, you touch the air with tongue, taste of sun, touch of sky. So that was Pleasure Fields. I don't know if I wrote it in college or shortly after, but it sounds like stuff I would write in those days. And here's the way the song starts. Or this is the way the song goes. Hopefully I can do it. Yeah, palabra means word. Our band name was Palabra with a period. Word. Quiet auburn oaken chest, cherry tobacco and night worn, the leaves are at their ripest. Wounded and fire warm, brisk is somewhere near, but for now just hazy, ever-burning maze of red ash will flush us clear. Flush us clear. In it, within it, waves pass through with understanding that you're there. In it, within it, waves pass through with understanding that you're there. And in a rush of airiness, lightly hammered into shape, frozen amber thawed and stewed in crusted September bacon, comes the sunshine, the honey haze, maze of eon in a day of days. Comfort in each air, nothing rocked and not yet bare. In it, within it, waves pass through, but understanding that you're there. In it, within it, waves pass through, but understanding that you're there. There in that honeysuckle glow, you'd swear you'd saw it, you'd swear you'd know, whether yellow-feathered cottontail or bluebird sing inside. You touch the air with tongue taste of sun and a touch of sky. Touch of sky. In it, within there, waves pass through, but understanding that you're there. In it, within there, waves pass through, but understanding that you're there. Understanding that you're there. Da 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 da. Understanding that you're there. Yeah, that's Pleasure Field. That felt good, man. Sometimes playing these, I could feel my original impulses of why I wanted to sing that way. It's funny how you get away from some stuff and you stick to others, but thankful for the music. All right, so moving on. So that was on that Palabra CD, which there were other Palabra CDs before that we used to make at home. If you have any, kudos to you. So then it was 2003, and then in 2002, and then 2003 I made Stages, which was a live record. I was living in Somerville, Massachusetts, and my friend Shane Corcoran did the cover of this. He's a brilliant artist and animator and photographer and video guy, all kinds of stuff. And he made this. He was really into like cubism and stuff, and I thought it was a perfect kind of image for the cover, because it's sort of me in stages of development was how I meant it. And then the back was done by John Adams, who did many of our other album covers. And it's hard to see on this, but really intricate work. If you have the back of this, it's a picture, it's a hand drawing of the Somerville Theater with some concert posters, and we put Dead Talon's name in the marquee because we were both fans, and we put the words "make out" in the marquee because he's a funny dude. But this was like, you know, there's songs on this from the Somerville Theater. I got a gig like playing with a bunch of other folk artists, and I was part of like 6 artists who were playing, and I got to play the Somerville Theater, which is like 900 people in this beautiful theater. And then 2 days later, I was right back to the Burn, right at the bar down the street, and that's where the Substitute Teacher Blues comes from on that record. And I'm not doing that one tonight. I did it a few weeks ago, and that's enough for this decade, I think. But what was I gonna do from this? This one I had to relearn. This is one I used to do. This is on the Stages record. This is called 2 Steps Behind. We was in the winter walking, steaming cups in hand and talking about the things that we would do in the spring. And as the day had seemed to glisten, some of us grew tired of listening, and we wanted off to be around to dig on everything. And as the wind swept up high, it made me wonder why we always find ourselves making plans. Ain't nothing wrong with dreaming, it's just sometimes it seems that staying put could be what's best. But move on, get your feet moving if you must, and move on. You can move the mental all the time. Look around, and if you find that things ain't going your way, I'll be here waiting. 2 steps behind, I'll be here waiting. 2 steps behind, and I know that I ain't moving on anytime soon. I know that I ain't moving on anytime soon. Anytime soon. population 322. Lauderdale, Montana, they're pleased to meet you. Key West, Vermont, oh, I just stop on by. You be taking the low road, you know, my friends, and we be living on high, on high. And as that wind sweeps up high, it makes me wonder why we always find ourselves making plans. Ain't nothing wrong with dreaming, it's just sometimes it seems that staying put could be what's best. Yeah, 2 steps behind. Felt good to dust that one off. Yeah, so this is a Jam Crew shirt. I heard somebody say something about it. Isn't that great? It's the guy from the Love Boat. Forget his name. Also, Stretch has a buddy. Stretch has always had a buddy. She just doesn't always come on camera. But this is Stretch, the giraffe. And this is Carrie, the horse. And yeah, that's what's up. We're making a Stretch t-shirt. Somebody suggested making a Stretch t-shirt that says, "I survived quarantine with Ryan Montbleau." And it's in the works. I saw some designs today. It's gonna be good. They're not made yet. I don't know when they're coming, but they're happening. Stretch and Carrie. All right. Tommy Deal watching. Thanks, Tommy. I'm still on the Stages record, which is my second record, which happened in 2003. And I had a brand new song at that time called Just Perfect. And I played it at the Somerville Theater, got it ready for the Somerville Theater. It was a big deal for me. And that's what you hear on the record. And that song eventually made it all the way on to For Hire in 2012. Because I needed a ballad for that record, kind of. Anyway, this one has stood the test of time. And somebody asked for it, so this is Just Perfect. Writing letters only to keep them in my head, chasing my mind around, building arguments, and it would be easier if you were here to defend. But I remind myself that that won't happen. 6 more days to Sunday, and I swear that I won't call. I suppose it's about time I took down that picture on the wall, the one of you and me when we dressed up for Halloween. And I'm still not sure what you were supposed to be, what you were supposed to be. And I know that time heals all things. Sure feels like time kills all things bad about you. Could it really have been me who said so proudly that I'd be better off without you? Day by day I work myself down to the bone, and I put your arms around me whenever I'm alone. And sure, I know that those little arms, well, they aren't real, but I say that anything is better than the way I feel. And day by day I work myself and I smile at all my friends, and I say that I know it's just a second love, and surely it don't mean the end. But when does that name fade? When do I stop using it for protection? And where does one go to from perfection? And I know you're not perfect, but I built you up that way. And I know it's been a year, but I can't take another day. And it would be easier if you were here to defend. But as it stands, I'm just left with an image of perfection. An image of perfection. An image of perfection. Whenever I close my eyes, an image of perfection. And it gets me by. All right. I saw a comment from my mom asking about Mooch. We got the other animals in here. Oh, there's Mooch. I don't think we've introduced Mooch. But he can be a star. Mooch is naked. He's going to put some clothes on. Yeah, that first record, Begin, I made because I was living in Cambridge, and I met a guy named Miguel Panetta. And Miguel had some money and some really nice mics, and he was a very cool dude, and we recorded most of it in his apartment in Cambridge. And we did a couple songs on that in the studio in New York City from that Begin record. Sour Grapes and Already There from that first record were a different production. You can tell if you listen to it. Those ones kind of sound better than a lot of the other stuff, I think. But now we're on the Stages record, and this was a live record done when I was gigging as much as I could and making the transition from having a day job to just playing music. And I heard this one on there. We used to do this with the band too, but man, I'm playing it so fast. And I will try to do, I had to print out the lyrics because I haven't done this in so long. How's everybody doing? I wish I could read all of the comments as I go, but sometimes they sneak in, but they get distracting. I gotta play music. All right, cool. All right, good talk. All right, this is called Away with Women. The line for this came from a De La Soul lyric, where I love De La Soul, and Pasta Noose from De La Soul, and one of the songs is like, got away with women, so I get away with yours. And that's where this came from. And I was living with my parents in Peabody, and yeah, and I was stoned at my parents' house when I wrote this. Love you too, Ma. You be that fool, paranoia-stricken lover, always trying to nail her only red dress down to the floor. You be that cruel man coming up the stairway every night, peeping through her door. Maybe you that Shylock gambling man who give her money, steal her a diamond ring. Maybe you that rare, sometimes they're mixing, matching Casanova. But I swear that I could be anything. I could be anything. Fool, paranoia-stricken lover, always trying to nail her only red dress down to the floor. I was that cruel man coming up the stairway every night, peeping through her door. And I was that Shylock gambling man who give her money, steal still have a diamond ring. I was that rare, sometimes they're mixing, matching. Casanova thought that I thought that I could do anything. I thought I could do anything. Thought I had a way with women, she did not understand my ways. Say you got away with women and you treat them a different way. But while you standing there scrounging, lounging on all fours, yeah, you sure got away with women. But someone sure got away with yours. And someone sure got away with mine. All right, that's Away with Women. Man. That was like this 2-5-1 guitar thing that my brother taught me. And then you can repeat the pattern. And there's so many songs, like even like 2 steps behind. I got so much out of that, so thank you, my brother Bill, for that riff. Or that chord thing. Oh yeah, this is Mooch. Mooch is about to be famous. Mooch is not mine. Mooch is not any, does anyone belong to anyone? But that's Mooch. He's chilling. Mooch is the man. All right, he's chilling. Okay, so moving right along on the records. One Fine Color we made in 2006 with the band. So I made stages in 2003, and then it was not until 2006 that we put out One Fine Color. And we were playing like crazy during that time, trying to build up our thing. We put the band together, and Matty G joined the band in 2004, and then we started hitting the road. And we couldn't fit Lawrence in the van at first because it only held 4 people, and then eventually we had him all the time, and we had Aaron Geld playing sax and bass clarinet, and we were doing all kinds of things. And but he was the man. He gigged a lot with us back in the day, and then I remember when it just hit me. It was like a couple years of touring, and then it was like, we gotta make a record. We're gonna make a record. And it was like everything clicked into place, and that would eventually become One Fine Color, and we made it in Woodstock at Applehead Recording, which is the same place we did Patience on Friday, and the same place I did Woodstock Sessions, which is their series. That's Applehead's thing, is Woodstock Sessions, which is like just 2 years ago. But it's a beautiful place, and we went in there and made One Fine Color with James on the drums, and Jason on the keys, and Matty on the bass, and Lawrence on the viola, and Yauba playing percussion, and we basically did it ourselves with like those engineers in there helping us out, and that's what we did. I guess I'll do One Fine Color, the title track, but it meant a lot to us. It was a big deal for us to make that record at the time. And the CD is still cool. John Adams did this beautiful root thing on the front and the trees in the back. And the way we made the CD is that it folds out into the tree. So you can fold out the roots from the cover into a full tree. And we still got a bunch of these. They're still in print, I think. And yeah, I always thought that was cool. Never seen a CD that flipped up. You know what I'm saying? What? Okay. Blowing Minds. What's up? All right, One Fine Color. So you might notice songwriting-wise in this. The chorus is that one love is far greater than many. So in the verses, I'm taking things that are plural and making them not as good as the things that are singular. to have a woman, now I just have women. Used to have some good luck, now I just carry these charms. Used to have a fine sense of humor, but I traded it for complications. Now instead of reaching for the distance, I just fold these tired arms. I used to dream in one fine color, sweet, hazy, sublime shade of red. Now it's just the black and the white, or else some strange and psychedelic nightmare. A whole mess of colors swirling around instead. And it seems that one love is far greater than many. One feeling never can be ignored. Two times the fun can be far too many. And too much of a good thing ain't no good. I used to give away a flower a day, now I got me a field of roses that stare back at me from the window and ask me for somewhere to go. Used to leave the light on after sunset, now I just sit in the darkness, count the hours as they roll by, and I sip my bourbon slow. And I know one love is far greater than many. One feeling never can be ignored. Two times the fun can be far too many. Too much of a good thing ain't no good. It ain't no good, it ain't no good. One love is far greater than many. One feeling never can be ignored. Two times the fun can be far too many. And too much of a good thing ain't no good. It ain't no good. It ain't no good. Too much of a good thing, it ain't no good. It ain't no good. All right. So One Fine Color, we made that record with the band. We were in the studio, there were goats around and llamas outside. We were staying on this beautiful farm and playing this beautiful studio. And it was just a big experience for us. Chris Bittner was the engineer on that, and he was amazing. And Mike Birnbaum was on the studio, and he mixed the record. And I was gonna do Starting Again, but I did that last week, and this one just struck me as this was a big one on that record for me. What if we were in the same boat, rolling on a green sea, listening to the water? No ordered future, no sordid old wet memories. What if time was not the issue? Yeah, we could just go on for days and days and days. Never need for, never miss you. give you nothing more than a smile on your face. What if I had 10 good reasons to love you and to leave you, darling, better than the you were before? What if we were in the same boat, only to keep on moving on? What if we had 10 different reasons to love upon and leave each other, separate to head on for the shows? What if we were in the same boat, only to keep on moving on, moving on? Seems like I've been on this trip so long, little splashes all I see. 10 more lovers to the wind, and once again I'm left with me. Seems that as my time draws nearer, I look into the mirror at a face that's had its fun and kept moving on, always moving on, with no one. What if we were in the same boat, rolling to the same beat, listening to each other, no eyes for another, no need to ever look away? And what if we could stay together and simply move on, day after day after day? Sun and stormy weather, side by side together, you and I always. Sun and stormy weather, you and I together, moving on always. Sun and stormy weather, you and I forever, moving on always, always. All right. I think before I move on to the next one, I'll do one more from One Fine Color, and it's a song that still feels relevant today, and I was writing it during the George W. Bush years. I'm not gonna get into it, but you know, I haven't sung this in a while. I hope I remember it. The colors of my country, the colors of a bruise, with 50 stars to signify that no one's born to lose. And the gifts that we've been given come bestowed by tired hands, tied to no known race, religion, or native of this land. And I am falling into a freedom trail, high as any mountain range as yet unknown. And I am falling into a freedom fear now, afraid of losing all the many things that I hold dear. So I celebrate this freedom, and I celebrate my home, and I celebrate this fenced-in land that we are standing on. No, I celebrate and celebrate, and I celebrate again. And I use this day to celebrate my thick American skin. Meanwhile, the fate of all the world is knocking at the door, and we say, this is private property, don't come round here no more. And we are falling into a freedom trail, deep as any gold mine as yet unshown. And we are falling into a freedom fear now, afraid of losing all the many things that we hold dear. So we celebrate this freedom, and we celebrate our home, and we celebrate this fenced-in land that we are standing on. Oh, we celebrate and celebrate and celebrate again. And we use this day to celebrate our thick American skin. Meanwhile, the fate of all the world is knocking at the door, and we say, this is private property, don't come round here no more. And the colors of my country, the colors of a bruise, and one big bloody mess to glorify the red, the white, the blue. And this fight that we are fighting, I fear, will help no future day. It only hinder all of us as we wander on our way. No, these fights that we are fighting, I know will help no future day. It only hinder Lady Liberty as she wanders on her way. May we please not hinder Lady Liberty wandering on her way. Thank you. All right. I hope this thing all brings us together a little more, even though it seems like we're fighting more maybe, but I don't know. We gotta come together. I mean, not physically together too much yet, but you know what I mean. All right, I won't keep going down that road. We'll keep going with the records. So we went back a year later to Applehead Recording to make what would become Patience on Friday. And this was like, we were touring like crazy at that time. I remember 2006, we played 206 shows. I remember that. And every other year was like, we played 194 shows, we played 202. We were playing about 200 a year. And we're going crazy with and not making money, like we were just going crazy. And then Patience on Friday came, and we were under the guidance of kind of a crazy manager, and we went in there and hired this producer, and then it ended up not working out, and I'm contractually obligated not to talk about it, but basically we went into some debt from that and didn't have the producer, and then we also went into a lot of debt making this record, and we took out lines of credit on our credit cards. We basically worked for years to pay off what was Patience on Friday. I've never had a record deal, and I still haven't really. I had a distribution deal once, and ended up owing this record label thousands of dollars, and it's just, I've never really gotten the deal. So, so Patience on Friday was an intense one, and we put a lot into it. We put there's a lot of songs on that, there's a lot of lyrics, there's a lot of instrumentation. We got the guy, Carl Berger, happened to be in the neighborhood, who's like this older German guy he did the string arrangements for Jeff Buckley's Grace, and we got him to do the strings that are on that record. And we got our friend Mike Feingold played sent us some tracks of guitar and stuff. And we got James Poyser ended up playing keys on this, I think. And it's just a lot. And the guys were really on fire and playing well. And we got it done, but it was really intense, you know. But so there's a song called How Many Times. And How Many Times was always meant to be one song. But I, in my infinite wisdom, when we were trying to sequence the record, I just thought it worked. We were trying to make a whole record, you know, a whole piece of art, and I just thought that song really worked as interludes. We were trying to tell a story. And you might notice, in a lot of my early records, most of my records, I got the title from one lyric that only happens once on the record. One Fine Color is the name of the song also, but I only say One Fine Color once in that song, and that's the name of that record, and it kind of just ties it together. And Patience on Friday, I say in the song Love and Love Lost, and I only say it once, and that became the title of that. Heavy on the Vine, same thing, I only say that once in that record. And Patience on Friday was really we were, One Fine Color was sort of like one. There was something about oneness. It was like our first band record. There was some kind of first there. And then Patience on Friday was we were going through this crazy time, but we had to be patient. And Friday is the raging party day, but try to have patience on Friday and kind of grow up. So that was the idea with that. But How Many Times is really meant to be one song. And we put it up, we just split it up as interludes. So when people say, oh, my favorite song is How Many Times Part 4, it's like that. It's How Many Times is one song. I know I probably confused you by doing that, but anyway, I'll do How Many Times for you. And we dedicated the record to our friend Dennis Babin, who was a friend of ours and a great drummer and a really amazing dude who was really close with James, our drummer. And we knew him, and he passed away. And we dedicated the record to him. And this is How Many Times. I try to do this little intro that Lyle kind of put together years later, and I don't do it as good as him, but There's a coat that I won't wear again till late sometime this year. And when I hang it in my closet, I'll go on about my day. Just a passing little chore, but before I close the door, I take one final look upon it, and I wonder just the same, how many times will I get to see the seasons change and stand here at the door? How many times will I be standing here? How many times? There's a general store in Maine where I spent some younger days. I took a drive one day to see it with a long-lost love of mine. And though that day it now was years ago, I cannot help but feel as though I was such a foolish child as we argued on the ride. How many times did I look for something petty as love stared me in the eyes? How many times will I get that chance again? How many times? There's a simple understanding in the moments undemanding of our notice. We build years with months and days until we're suddenly afraid of what we've chosen. Have I done all that I can? Could I have been a better man? I need to do more with these moments, need to do more with less time. It's time to ease from concentration into focus. And there's a friend that I once knew, and before his days were through, he was dark and he was stormy, but he could laugh at all the world. I loved and took it all in stride, and though I laughed on the outside, I'd give my life to take the loneliness that he had to endure. How many times did I get to see my friend alive and think nothing of it? How many times did I look upon his face? How many times? And though he's gone now, I have this song now, and I still get to sit here remembering the lines. And though I'm not yet under, can't help but wonder, will we get this chance again? And how many times? All right, that's how many times. I'll use this guitar. Well, Love and Love Lost was a big one for the on the Patience on Friday record. I think we recorded it, and then it wasn't quite right, so we recorded it again, and then we made like a radio edit of it. Not that it got really played on the radio, but we did it. We just worked on that song so much, to the point where I got like really just burnt out. I went in there one time and just laid a track singing the words of Love and Love Lost, but with a really thick Boston accent, just to make everybody laugh and make myself laugh. And so somewhere there's a recording of me that we called Love and Love Boston. Cat like a reason to live there, but unthought of, taken for granted, strong but unheard of. It's pretty, so sorry to ruin that song for you, but there it is. But I'll just sing it regular today. There was a lot in there's one thing Patience on Friday brings, it's just a lot. I had a lot of words in the songs, there was a lot of experiences. We were going around the country for the first time. We were drinking, it was just a lot happening. We were working hard, we were playing, we were practicing. We were going into debt, we were broke, I don't know. But I guess I had a lot to say. like a reason to live, there but unthought of, taken for granted, strong but unheard of, folded away in the depths of each day. Lost like patience on Friday, like a star behind the moon, burning and beautiful and looked at too soon. I've thrown it away in the interest of time. And this dream of mine, dreams they happen out of order, where nothing is real but the tick, tick, ticking of the clock on the wall. Fall to the ceiling, jump to the ground, hope or hope not that you will wake up someday soon and be found. Oh, that frightening light will come again, just like the moment you came out of your mom and you cried and you longed for that familiar darkness. So now you're holding it down, drinks at the bar, fresh faces and friends, opportunities abound, and who knows how long, how far this night will go, and who's she, and which way, and which bar. In my mind, how time flies by with these long nights on the rocks. How time flies when you're alone and jaded. Will you make it alone? Will you discover yourself? Will you give it away to someone else? And will they understand? Will they understand? You're just a bundle of love. You're just a love and love lost. Gone like the fool in the park who scares all the children and laughs out loud to himself of what he once was. This is your love, this is your love. That fool was once something so beautiful, something alright, something upstanding, now disheveled and frightening. This is your love, this is your love. His head spins around, but his heart beats on. Looks through the air to the crowd, to the ground, everywhere for something to feed on. This is your love, this is your love. You like to think that you can pass it on by, but you can't, no, no, this is your love. Person to person, past to past, this is all you have. This is all you have. This is all you have. Will you make it alone? Will you discover yourself? Will you give it away to someone else? And will they understand? Now that you understand, you are not a lost cause, no. And you are more than what was. You're just a bundle of love. You're just a love and love lost. Instagram, the stream is going to stop in a few seconds, but I'm going to start it up again right away. You're just a love and love lost. So much love to give, so much baggage to carry it in now. You're just a love. Thank you, love. You're just a love and love lost. All right, I'll do one more from Patience on Friday. Gotta keep moving. Got a lot of records to get to. That's another one that's, that's John Adams did the album cover of this one. Did another beautiful job. And then, what did we have? I put a poem inside. Every year starts and ends cold, and in the middle, the beautiful rise to and fall from June. Lately, I feel the cool, and I hope it's my... Oh, my God. We're going to start that over again. Every year starts and ends cold, and in the middle, the beautiful rise to and fall from June. Lately I feel the cool, and I hope it's spring and not my fall come too soon. What are heavy themes on this? Good pictures of the guys. That's a picture of our buddy Dennis who passed away. He's an amazing dude. And our buddy Ryan Laurie shot some incredible photos. And that's us walking down the road right in front of the studio. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it up for both streams. And the lyrics are in there. Yeah, man. Crazy days. Okay. I'll do one more from that record. We did some interludes that I think I mentioned this when I did the Patience on Friday stream. But there's some interludes of Lord Buckley. If you never listened to Lord Buckley, it's the most far out stuff. It's like from the 50s. That's the thing that's like, I've been on a lot of sad tours. I've been on a lot of downbeaten excursions. I've been flipped and bap. It's pretty amazing. And we got permission from his estate to use it. I think it was a relative of his. I've suffered from pavement rash. Listen to that stuff. He goes on for like 10 minutes at a time, and what he's saying really does make sense, and it's just incredible. He tells the story of historical figures in slang. But I think that was before this one, and we did this. Just gonna turn this up a little for maybe today. Speaking of songs with a lot of words. Daydream, look upon a world in hues of golden glory, make it all a story. Saving graces by the dozen, my they come so plenty. Spread it out for many, you're the hero. Hinges all around you, don't it feel so good to give it all away? There's never been a better way than giving every drop of what you got, to give it up until it's gone. Pacing, racing all around for love to come and take you far away and make you crazy. Flying like a loony bird and drunk with laughter. Soon the pitter-patter of the babies. A house and home with healthy understanding. Taking all you used to love and thrown it out the window of this palace that you built. Love means learn to love to give it all away. Love means learn to love to give it all away. And it may be outstanding, maybe not great. Maybe just wasting time looking for an easy way. Maybe ecstatic and maybe okay. I'm to blame for the shape that I'm in, but you know, scene after scene I seen the light, and it's in the funniest of places. I cannot rearrange it, but I think I could change. I'm gonna take what I got, I'm gonna give it away. You know, maybe today. Maybe today. Growing in the circles might have spin so quickly. Growing up sexy. Angels of the highest order, but they lose all theory. Never in the mirror see angels. Who they really are, know they're in danger. Or falsely rearranging it, throwing it away, for it's a picture of an image of a picture of an image of a star, not who they are. And it may be outstanding, maybe not great. Maybe just wasting time looking for an easy way. Maybe ecstatic or maybe okay. You're to blame for the shape that you're in, but you know, sin after sin I seen the light, and it's in the funniest of places. I cannot rearrange it, but you know you could change. You gotta take what you got to give it away. You know, maybe today. Maybe today. Maybe take all you got to give it, give it away. Maybe today, yeah. you're a good riddle, do the most. And don't you give it for the getting, give it away. You may feel that pressure drift away somewhere. A million little tensions turning into atmosphere. Lately, I've been vibing on the fact that my hearing's going. My sights are slowing down to shady. I keep on going, but I act like I don't know it. That my heart keeps beating, dreaming. Meeting girls and waiting on a lady. Staring out the window thinking maybe I can find a good rapper in my arms. Finally throw these things that harm me away. Maybe today. And it may be outstanding, and maybe not great. Maybe just wasting time looking for an easy way. Maybe outstanding, maybe okay. I'm to blame for the shape that I'm in, but you know, sin after sin, I seem to light, and it's in the funniest of places. I cannot rearrange it, but I think I could change. I'm gonna take what I got, I'm gonna give it away. You know, I think everything here, I think everything could be great. Gonna take what I got, I'm gonna give it away. You know, maybe today. Maybe today, yeah. Take all I got to give it, give it away. Maybe today, yeah. All right. Those are the ones I picked out from Patience on Friday. If you want to catch other ones, I did a whole stream of that whole record a month or so ago. That's still archived here. Moving along, I did a solo record, another Stages in 2009. The first stage is in 2003, and it's solo, acoustic, and live. And that's the story of all the Stages records. They're supposed to be solo, acoustic, and live. And it's kind of like, to me, it's like rechecking in. Every 6 or 7 years I do it, and I've done 3 of them. And it's like a checking in at the stages of my development or whatever, and it's just kind of bringing the songs back to their raw form and playing solo acoustic and live, which I always like to do, which I've always done. Even throughout all these years, even the touring with the band and stuff, I would still, you know, when we would take a little break, go play solo shows, like I would always do it. So I was doing that, and I made this record in 2009. We put it out. There's a good version of 75 and Sunny on this, which I think is the more played one, the most played one. And I was on the bike path here in Burlington the other day, and this dude rode by me, and he was blasting 75 and Sunny. I think he knew it was me, but I was like, yeah, man. Anyway, that felt good. I don't feel like playing that one, and you're not going to make me, because I play that one all the time. But I was going to do these other ones that I don't usually do, which I think is more interesting. I don't know. This one, I'll do a couple from that. I appreciate all the donations too, that everyone's been taking such good care of me every week. Thank you so much for that. I realize I don't put the links up on Instagram, but my Venmo is @RyanMontbleau, and my PayPal is ryan@ryanmontbleau.com. And I hate saying things like that, but it really is helping me out. So thank you all so much. I'll do. I haven't done this one in a long time, but this one, we were touring down in Atlanta, and I was staying with my buddy Morel and his wife and his family, and they would put up the whole band in their little townhouse and find comfortable places for us to sleep, and we had to be quiet. We were in this quiet, gated community kind of thing, and it wasn't gated, but it was quiet kind of little neighborhood in Atlanta. And it was after a show, and I was trying to be super quiet. I had to get out to the van to get something late at night, and I went to the van, and I just shut the van door, and I shut my finger in the van door, and I was like trying to scream silently. I was like, ah, like, and just like bottling it up, and it just slammed right on my finger, and so I had to, I couldn't sleep. I was in so much pain. I didn't need to, like, I wasn't bleeding like crazy. Like, I didn't need to go to the hospital or anything, but I couldn't sleep in it. So I was going to go get some Advil or something for the pain. And so I got in the van and I dialed up the GPS on my phone, like Google Maps or something, and looked for like the nearest pharmacy or whatever was open at that time in Atlanta, thousands of miles where I lived, and boom, I just pull up, and there's a CVS and a Walgreens really close together, and that's when I started writing this song, and it dawned on me the amount of choice that we have everywhere we go, and it's it just started with the lines like, should I go to the CVS? Should I go to the Walgreens store? It's like, sometimes they're literally right across the street from each other. And we just, choose one. We just have so much choice. And then when you go in there, it's like, all right, what kind of toothpaste should I get? There's 500 of them. And that's what this song's about. And I haven't done this in a while, but this is called More and More and More. Should I go to the CVS or to Sir Walgreens store? Walk down the aisles again, try to recall what for. With their 50 kinds of toothpaste and their 40 kinds of soap, oh, it surely would seem to me I only need one that's good. With another 50 choices comes another 100 voices in my head. No great angels, no big devils, just another 100 levels to contend with. Should I go to the diamond outlet or to the jewelry store? Should I ask how they found all these precious jewels and ores with their clandestine minds and their unfair labor practice? Oh, it surely would seem to me I should probably not even ask. With another 50 choices comes another 100 voices in my head. No great angels, no big devils, just another 100 levels to contend with. Then when I found a perfect one, there's another 100 ways to be outdone. I found some sapphire-crusted earrings in the shape of Mother Mary, with the whole Constitution carved on the side. I found a monogrammed down pillow with the shavings of a young willow tree inside. I found everything I ever wanted, and it opened up a door. I took one half a look around, there were 500,000 more. I found everything I ever needed, and more and more and more. Should I go for the 15 grain? Should I go for the light seedless rye? Should I go for the unbleached, unbromated, stone ground whole wheat flour? Does it have high fructose corn syrup? Is it genetically modified? Is it safe for my children? And how would I decide? 'Cause with another 50 choices comes another 100 voices in my head. No great angels, no big devils, just another 100 levels to contend with. Then when I found a perfect one, there's another 100 ways to be outdone. father's three-kid family who can barely keep the clothes upon their backs. But I found an organic two-tone sweater, this banging hat from Bangladesh, an alligator suit, and blue suede shoes just for the hell of it. I found everything I ever wanted, and it opened up a door. I took one half a look around, there were 500,000 more. I found everything I ever needed, and more and more and more. Throw the old stuff out to be burned, I don't need it anymore. That ain't my style now. No, I found one great big store, and it's got everything I need. I find more things to make me me, until the day that I am gone. Should I go for the gray headstone? Should I go for the straight pine basket? Should I go for the silk lined box? For the straight pine basket? Should I wear my finest black suit? Should I hold one single rose? Should I try to take with me all of the things I chose? I realized about 10 seconds into that song that I was playing it in a key that was much higher than I usually play it. But I'm a professional, and I rise above such things by singing too high. All right. I don't know. I may have to wind this up pretty soon. We're only halfway through the records, and I got so many I want to play. Let's do some more. Thank you all for tuning in, everybody. That was from the Stages 2 record, and that was the only place that was on. Another one I did on Stages 2, actually, was this little, kind of riffing vocal thing where, called 16 Reasons. And it was kind of like all these plays on words so I could count down from 16 to 1. And I think I remember it. 16 candles and a pony, baby. Must have told you 15 times that for a team mentality, you sure do drink a lot of wine. And you've been my unlucky number 12 months of the year. I'll even say you tend to forget why I am here. But I'd go the whole night if only to offend it for the food you ate. And with the 7 sisters smiling down with 6 something just as great. If I have anything to say about it, you will know what for. Look, I've already got the ring, and this I will say to you, you're the one for me, you're the one, I need none. Moving along. Heavy on the Vine we did in 2010. This is the cover of Stages 3, by the way, another one by John Adams, beautiful cover. And the idea of this was it's a picture of me inside, which I never thought looked terribly like me, but John's the man. But the idea of the cover of this was sort of it was his idea, and I loved it. It's kind of like the little solo seahorse coming out of the 8-arm octopus of the band or something. It's like me, solo acoustic. It's like the little solo guy coming out of the octopus suit. And that was Stages 2 rather. And then the next one we did was Heavy on the Vine. This one we did in 2010 with the band. This was produced by Martin Sexton. And we were Martin Sexton's band that year. It was a very exciting year. Martin Sexton, as I've told you, is a huge hero of mine, and I just have always looked up to him, and kind of I did all these opening slots over the years, and then it was right at New Year's, I think, of going into 2010. We were at the FTC in Fairfield, and I got a call from his manager, who's also his wife, seeing the possibility if we would basically audition to be his band for that year. He put out a great record called Sugarcoating, and we got to be his band for that year, and we got to tour the country with him and be in his tour bus, and we played the fairgrounds at Jazz Fest which I hope isn't the only time I ever get to play the fairgrounds, but I was out there playing guitar with Martin Sexton at the Fedodo stage, and we opened for Dave Matthews Band for 4 shows that summer, and we just did all kinds of cool stuff, and Martin's the man, and he produced our record, so we also made a record that year of our own, and Martin produced it. So it was basically like the way we had made the other records, which was just us, left to our own devices, only we also had the musical genius of Martin Sexton guiding us in the right directions, and putting together vocal harmonies, and just doing all kinds of ideas. At one point, he was, for Carrie, when we did Carrie, I guess I'll do that, he was like, we need to use the diner, what was it? The diner guitar trick or something like that. When his song Diner, he played 2 of the same guitar part, but 2 different takes. So they're a little different from each other, and one in each side kind of panned them, so it gets this kind of shimmer. And that's what we did for Carrie. Daylight, window will not rise. Hold tight. Days right, time hangs heavy on the vine. Let's make wine. You and I were born not a second too soon, hanging on a vine in the vineyard moon. Oh, how soon I'd turn and say, you're my everything, and everything to me. And I will carry the weight, I will carry the weight, I will carry the weight, and I won't let you have to again. Twilight, children's voices fight. Hold tight. Lights simmering so slowly in the pan. So come on in and get it. They were all born not a second too late, laughing up a storm by the silver lake. Oh, what more could we create, knowing when your arms begin to ache, that I will carry the weight, I will carry the weight, I will carry the weight, and I won't let you have to again. If you cannot be my rock, then be my water. If you cannot be my savior, then just be my Valentine. Take this heart-shaped box, fill it up with your wants and all your worries, your frights and all your fantasies, and you just take the ring, hand me every other thing, and I will carry the weight, I will carry the weight, I will carry the weight, and I won't let you have to again. We used to live in a house in Lawrence, Massachusetts that we rented from our friend Joel, and we used to do our rehearsing right there in the living room for many years with the old band. And I had this idea for this kind of reggae-ish tune, and we had most of it, and I had what I thought was a complete idea, and then Yauba said, "You need a chorus. We don't have a chorus." And I was like, "No," and he was totally right. And then so I went and wrote a chorus, and he was right, and the song got a chorus, and the song is Songbird. Sweet little songbird sitting on a wire, sing a fire from your belly so small. Sound waves roll and the waves spread wider. You sing a song until it's 6 feet tall, and the walking, stomping, stalking down the sidewalk, wearing clothes, standing side by side now. Fly little songbirds on to the next stop. You sing a song, you look each other in the eye like, who all can tell you not to sing your story? Who all can tell you that you're singing off key? You are the dance, you are not the dancer. You are the song, not the one who sang. Be a beautiful songbird. Now be a beautiful songbird, yeah. Now be a beautiful songbird. Oh, you tell the truth. You tell the truth. Me woman Trini got that wild imagination. He think they looking when he walk on by. He think the world is one big mirror. Him get upset and then he don't feel right when he walking, talking, stalking on the sidewalk, sporting clothes, nothing stride by stride. I tell him, Trini, you are not what you consider. I stop him dead when I look him in the eye and say, who all can tell you not to sing your story? Who all can tell you that you're singing off key? You are the dancer, you are not the dancer. You are the song, not the one who sing. Be a beautiful songbird. Now be a beautiful songbird. Now be a beautiful songbird. Oh, you tell the truth. You get upset and then you don't feel right. You try to fly up straight and you fly up tight. You try to talk about life like it's on an advance. Life is the dancer, you are the dance. So be a beautiful songbird. Now be a beautiful songbird. Now be a beautiful songbird. Oh, you tell the truth. You tell the truth. Shout out to Lawrence Scudder, who played viola in the Montbleau band for so many years, and is all over that record. This record, Heavy on the Vine. This is the cover that John Adams did on that. And the bird is a little shiny. There's like an extra coat of shininess on the bird which my managers at the time were like, what, we gotta get an extra coat of shininess? They were really put off by that. I don't know, but I don't think it was that big a deal. I don't know if you could see it, but the bird's shiny. Yay. All right, getting a little delirious here. Yay, shiny birds. Okay. Man, I knew this was gonna go long, but I don't know, it might be a little while. It was Lawrence's idea to call the record Heavy on the Vine. And it had been one of the, I wrote down, like I went through all the lyrics in the record and wrote down key phrases that buzzed out that might be possible titles. And that was one of the ones I wrote, but it was just one of many. And he separately on his own was like, why don't we call it Heavy on the Vine? And I was like, yep. And it was just a really good idea. And again, with the titles like sort of having something to do with our story and what was going on. Heavy on the Vine was like, we had been touring at this point like crazy for several years, and it was feeling like really heavy, like something was about to sort of change, you know. And then sure enough, like pretty soon after that is when like Lawrence left the band, and then we got Lyle eventually, it was kind of this heavy time that was like about to bear fruit, sort of. That's how it felt. So Heavy on the Vine seemed like a really appropriate title for us. I'll do this one for you. This is Slippery Road. I think I remember this. Silence was a friend indeed. Came to me on bended knees, asked politely for my mind to stand at ease. And silence said only to be, but history says a fool is he who follows not the footsteps of his calling. And what calls me to shore? Is it the wanting of the war? Is it to fight another day to say, hey, I was good, did what I should not care what for. Wheeling, spinning fast around and around. Oh, the end is gaining ground. Better keep on making sound. Even though I stand by high and proud, if I say the same thing tomorrow, come hell, come high water, take me down, take me down, take me down. As was an angel, fell from heaven, took his time to sink, touched ground on 13th and 2nd, and he found himself a drink. He took one hard look around, and then he laid more money down. Said this whole town needs saving. Who am I to disagree? But it's okay if I don't get it done today, and it's alright if I stay up late tonight. But if I say the same thing tomorrow, come hell, come high water, take me down from this slippery road. Sam was sure from the west side of Philly, and she made her presence known. None of you here would have any idea she got 3 little kids at home. She said, my daytime is paid, but when the kids are all right someday, my nightlife could need saving. Who am I to disagree? But it's okay if I don't get it done today, and it's alright if I stay up late tonight. But if I say the same thing tomorrow, come hell, come high water, take me down from this slippery road. Take me down from the slippery road. Although I know I just wanna feel better, it's such a slippery road. When I get out of my head again, and I get out of my head again. Oh, but I know that it's okay if I don't get it done today, and it's alright if I stay up late tonight. But if I say the same thing tomorrow, if I say the same thing tomorrow, if I say the same thing tomorrow, come hell, come high water, take me down from this slippery road. And it's okay if I don't get it done today, and it's alright if I stay up late tonight. But if I say the same thing tomorrow, if I say the same thing tomorrow, come hell, come high water, take me down from this slippery road. Take me down from this slippery road. Oh, won't you take me down? Take me down from this slippery road. All right, thank you. All right, that's Heavy on the Vine. Those are some songs from that. The next record we put out was the following year, was Live at Life is Good, which is 2011. And this was, it's a double live record. And so it's called Live at Life is Good, which a lot of people have the misconception that it was at the Life is Good festival. That actually wasn't. It was in the Life is Good store. Their flagship store used to be in this brownstone right on Newbury Street in Boston. And the Life is Good people have been very good to me over the years. I just can't say enough about those people. Bert and John Jacobs are the two brothers who started the company and still run it, and they're just wonderful people who really do believe that life is good and really want to make it a better place. And I'm just reminded of that every time I see those guys, and they've been really good to me. So for this record, they helped us pay for it, and they helped us put it out, and they had their design guys like come do different designs and kind of help us come up with the cover art. And they did a great job. And we did it in that we cleared out their whole flagship store in this old beautiful brownstone in Boston. We cleared out the whole bottom floor and brought in full production. And we invited like our top fans. It was kind of like, I forget how we did it, but it was like the people who were the biggest fans and some of our friends and stuff were the audience. And they came. We put on a full show in this room. And the band was really on fire at that time. Like that was like several years into that band playing a lot. And we had Lyle by that time. And I'm just really proud of like the way the band sounds on that record. So it's kind of weird to play something from that, because for me that record is about it's really about those guys and what they're playing. And there's a song called Goose Feather that's just an instrumental that they do. Like somebody asked me to play that once. I was like, I've never even played that song. Like that's the guys, playing without me, and they're great. And it is Live at Life is Good, and the G in good is a lowercase g, which Life is Good always did, because it was more of like a saying. They didn't capitalize it. They just believed that life is good. Anyway, so I guess I'll do Dead Set from that, because I think the Dead Set on that record, Lyle does this pretty face-melting guitar solo, and I think you can hear me joke on it. I'm like, if you couldn't see who did that guitar solo, it was me. I sort of tried to take credit for it. I was just joking. But anyway, this is going out to those guys. A lot of this, like looking at the old records and looking at the stuff, just made me think of all the people who worked so hard on them. And my old band especially those guys just ground it out forever, and they worked so hard in the studio too, and they just worked hard on their instruments, and we got better together, and I miss them. And anyway, this is Dead Set. Check out Lyle Brewer's records if you haven't done so already. Every day's a mishmash of death, dumb, and happiness. Like, how far can it go? You want the same thing, right? I want the same thing. I meet you in the middle. No, man, no, bro. Like, I got no time. I let myself fight to get there, and these people never let me. I know they know that I'll do anything I can. Strangers now full of rage, man, I should let it slide. When I get too pent up on the inside, man, I should let it all go. Go, 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 go. When I'm dead set on what it is that I think and what it is that I know. Every day is much the same, a little pleasure, a lot of pain. Busy body bag is buzzing around my brain. Ain't it strange to have a real fascination with a merry-go-round turn to a race? And it's a day too late, a dollar too short, a step too soon. Pick a horse, I'll race you to the moon. Loser get the boot, and then the winner gets the prize. Wait, we're on a merry-go-round, right? I should let it slide. When I get too pent up on the inside, man, I should let it all go. Go, 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 go. When I'm dead set on what it is that I think and what it is that I know. What it is that I know. Thanks, Ballard. On what it is that I know. Miss you, buddy. On what it is that I know. On what it is that I know. Something takes control. It fools you that you're in it. Choose your battles wisely. For it'll say that you must win it. Do you want some calm, or do you want some conflict? You can choose what you want, but be. Choose what you want, but be. Choose what you want, but be honest. Man, you should let it slide. When you get too pent up on the inside. You're right, Mom. Man, you should let it all go. Go, 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 go. When you're dead set on what it is that you think and what it is. What it is that you know. You gotta let it all go. You gotta let it all slide one time. And every day is plotting, scheming. Don't you ever get to taste the fruit of all your endless daydreaming? How can you expect to get ahead when the future is a fact under your forehead? You don't know what you know, hey, but it's all the same. It has a name and it bears repeating. Observe your mind and stop your thinking. Man, you should let it slide. When you get too pent up on the inside, man, you should let it all go, 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 go. When you're dead set on what it is that you think and what it is. What it is that you know. On what it is that you know. On what it is that you know. Ooh. On what it is that you know. Thank you. Is that Tara Lee? Hey, Tara Lee's outside my window. Hey, T. What are you guys doing? What's up, Dan? Nice. I'm getting there. Thanks for coming, guys. It's the biggest audience I've had in a while. Tara Lee and Dan, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going to keep plugging here. Love you guys. That's nice. Okay, For Hire, 2012. Very different record from anything I've ever done. I made it in New Orleans. Basically, the long story short is that I used to have the same management as Trombone Shorty. And which did a lot of good for me over the years. Those guys really did a lot for me. And but I ended up writing some lyrics for Trombone Shorty. He was being produced by Ben Elman from Galactic, and I had the same management as Troy, as Trombone Shorty, and he needed some lyrics for his record. And so I tried my hand at some of the tracks he was working on, and it worked. I wrote the lyrics for Something Beautiful and the melody for that, and I wrote One Night Only, The March, and I think there's one called How Many Roses, and another one. I wrote like 4 of them that made it onto his records, and I got to see him do those at Jazz Fest in front of like thousands of people, and there was like a 9-year-old girl next to me who didn't know, I mean, you know, obviously didn't know who I was. She was just singing the words to the verses that I wrote for him. That was an amazing moment. Anyway, cut to, so Ben Elman produced those records, and then the way that I sent them the lyrics was I made a YouTube video of me singing my ideas for the lyrics. You can, if you look up on YouTube, I think it's like, if it's like Ryan Montbleau TS Tune, which means Trombone Shorty, there's like a video of me in the van sending him these lyric ideas. And anyway, long story short is eventually I basically hooked up with Ben Elman that way, and then so the idea for what became For Hire was for Ben Elman to put a studio band together and produce a record for me. And the studio band that he put together was George Porter Jr. on bass, and Ivan Neville on keys, and Anders Osborne on guitar, and Simon Lott on the drums. And so basically, next thing I know, you know, I'm a kid from Peabody, Massachusetts, and I'm in a studio in New Orleans looking out the window of a vocal booth at George Porter Jr., who's asking me what the arrangement is for the song. It was crazy. We basically did the whole record in 2 days. Those guys just completely crushed it. I mean, I called it For Hire because I literally hired those guys. I mean, it was like, they didn't know who I was, but they knew Ben, and that's how we got it all together. And I basically got them like the 2 days after Jazz Fest when they were all still in town and tired from the million gigs they were doing. I got them for 2 days in the studio, and that's how we did the record. And I hired them. I still have the page somewhere of like the checks that I wrote them and stuff. And I was so honored to play with those guys. And so, so that record is really different, and it's a lot funkier than a lot of my records. And it's, you know, when you have George Porter Jr. on bass, you're gonna get funky. So I'll do, this one was on there, Head Above Water, which I don't do acoustic very much, but the day you got pushed in was the day you learned to swim, and then the tide kept rising inch by inch. You tense up your spine, you test the waterline, your arms are reeling, boy, you're barely breathing. Rise up, taste some sweetness, and keep your head above the water. You keep your head above the water. You keep your head above the water. And you don't let your bridges down. Now the people who drown, they don't kick and they scream. They just slip into the water silently. So much information, so much for one nation, so much for being righteous. Guess I'll go for mine, and I wanna get out of here alive. I keep my head above the water. I keep my head above the water. I keep my head above the water. And you don't let your bridges down. You don't let your bridges down. Oh, no, no, no. Keep your head above the water. You keep your head above the water. Living my life underwater. Mama, from sea to shining sea. Getting tired of feeling forgotten. Maybe just to let myself sink down silently. Let my spirits falter, slip on down, down, down to the bottom of the sea. Day by day, all that information's coming. And what started as a rain, well now the world is flooded. Better loosen up your spine, better test the water line. Your heart is feeling, boy, you better breathe in and rise up, and keep your head above the water. You keep your head above the water. You keep your head above the water. You keep your head above, head above, head above. You keep your head above the water. You keep your head above the water. You keep your head above water. And you don't let your bridges, no you don't let your bridges, no you don't let your bridges down. Shout out to the lady parts, Lydia Harrell and Kid Holiday, who I've been blessed to have them sing that live with me over the last several years here and there. It's kind of funny to say shout out to the lady parts, but that's the name of their singing group. All right. I'm getting tired. This is going long. We're only in 2012. God, I don't know if I can do this. Somebody Venmo me $5 right now and I'll play another. No, I'm just kidding. Do I hear 10? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is one also on the For Hire record. This is one I don't think I've ever played it solo acoustic for some reason. Maybe I have. I don't know, but I haven't played it in a while. This is called Sweet, Nice, and High. The For Hire record was very different because those guys were playing on it, the legends, you know. And that's how I met Anders Osborne, who would go on to eventually produce I Was Just Leaving, which I think is my best record, but because my heart is really on there. But this one is really, on For Hire, it's really all about those guys. They're just legendary players, and they play so amazingly well. And I was just in the vocal booth trying to keep up. I was just like, all right, my job here is to sing my ass off and figure out what material would be best for us. And some of the material, the stuff that I think is the best on For Hire is the cover tunes. Yeah Man is a cover song. That's an Eddie Hinton song that my manager Dave at the time knew about and he told me about. And then Ben would come up with these other songs too. Ben was the one who told me about Here But I'm Gone, which is a Curtis Mayfield tune. And I love the song Heartbreak Road by Bill Withers, and so that's on there. And the other cover that's on there is called Sweet, Nice, and High. And that's by a band called Rhinoceros, which was some kind of a super group. I don't know a lot about them, I forget, but it happened in the 70s. But if you look up, the original of that song is amazing. They're all of the originals of the four covers that are on that record are really incredible. This one is, by Rhinoceros. Look up Rhinoceros, Sweet, Nice, and High. And the dude just sings the shit out of it. It's really, but I'll do my best. So, on this record too, We had everyone sing around a mic. I'm going to do the song. Don't worry, I'm going to get to it. We had everyone sing around a mic. We had George Porter Jr. and Ivan Neville and Anders and Simon Lott and me all singing around one mic, and they all sang beautiful backup vocals to the song. They're going sweet, nice, and high. And they did this harmonized thing, and Ivan would go over to the piano and be like, all right, this is your note. And they got really into it. Those guys were like super engaged, and they would come back and listen to playback of the tunes and high-five each other and stuff, and they were just like a joy to work with and such pros. But they all did this beautiful vocal session. Towards the end of the session, they laid down vocals for this, and we all harmonized together around one mic, and it was amazing. And then the studio lost those tracks. So they were just gone. And so what you hear on the record is there happened to be a video guy in the room. We got some footage of us making the record. And the video guy in the room just had the little mic that happened to be on his video camera, which wasn't set up for sound really, but he recorded some little audio thing in the camera, and that's what we used for the backup vocals on this. The guy who mixed it, he was an amazing guy. He mixed it in such a way that it sounds really cool. And anyway, that's what you hear on Sweet, Nice, and High. Could use this right now. I'm gonna build me a home way up high. It's gonna be a big fine place way up there in the top of my mind, where all my friends will be able to stop right on by. It's gonna be sweet, nice, and high. Sweet, nice, and high. I hope it's pretty soon. By the way you're fighting down here, just maybe I'll have to go to the moon. But as long as my friends will be able to stop right on by, come on now. Sweet, nice, and high. Sweet, nice, and high. Instagram, you're going to stop again in a minute. We're going to stop you right now and restart the stream for the big note. And we're back. I hope it's pretty soon. I sure wish you'd get it together down here, 'cause I know nobody on the moon. But anytime you feel like you wanna stop right on by, come on now. Sweet, nice, and high. Sweet, nice, and high. It's gonna be sweet, sweet, nice, and high. Oh, it's gonna be sweet, sweet, nice, and high. Everybody's gonna come on down. It's gonna be sweet, nice, and high. It's gonna be sweet, nice, and high. All right, thanks so much, everyone. Well, I'll kind of fly through the next several records. I think it's getting pretty long, but that was the For Hire record, and a couple of songs from that, which I'm really proud of. Just can't believe I got to work with those guys. And then so when we went back there, it didn't come out. I guess we went back maybe 2 years later. And the idea was for Ben, who had produced this record with me and those guys, to produce a record with me and my band. And so I brought the guys in there. I brought James and Jason and Lyle and Yauba and Maddie. All had to, we headed into the studio in New Orleans in a different studio, but with Ben Elman producing. And we made what would become Growing Light. And it was a pretty amazing experience, but heavy. We had been touring for 10 years straight, and right before we went into the studio, really, like, I think while we were there was when, or maybe like right before we went in there, is when Jason said he was going to leave the band. And then shortly after that is when Lyle said he was leaving the band. So we didn't really know what was going to happen, but we knew it was like the end of an era. We knew that something was really about to change and not be the same anymore from how it had been. It had been the same thing for so long, other than Lawrence leaving, which was also the same thing for so long, and then we got Lyle, and that was consistent for a couple years. And anyway, we went in there knowing that it was kind of going to be some kind of the end of some kind of era for us, and we made what was Growing Light. So I'll play a few from that. This is the title track. I do know someone on the moon. So you're not what I expected. What was I expecting? Some kind of Mother Nature type to rub me and protect me, set up like a statue, stronger than the rapture. I'm not sure what I was after. Just sure a much better dancer, and when we go out, the stars align so bright. You and I in the garden, growing light. I find myself nicer to my brother. Think about my family, I'll even call my mother. Maybe tell her that I love her. Tell her I found someone who understands me. And I've been thinking about that scene from Bambi. I know that's not all that manly, but I'm like a little kid on candy. And when we go out, the stars align, they align so bright. You and I in the garden, growing light. Love you, Ma. And if the stars fade away, slip into that old cold city gray, we can put on overalls, paint some on the walls of your room. We got 2 times the resilience, 10 times the affection, 10,000 hours of practice towards that day we change direction. Turn from swinging for the fences, turn from staring at our faces to walking hand in hand, facing one direction. And when we go out, the stars align, they align so bright. You and I in the garden, growing light. Growing light, growing light. Growing light, growing light. You and I, growing light, growing light. You and I in the garden, growing light. you thinking about changing your hair. 7-second love for the second time. Time to check it out and pull up a chair. The doctor will see you now. Go on in. Sick of being loved, sick of being left behind. Time to stick your face back in the crowd. Making sure you're loved, making sure you're fine. Keep a little one, but that ain't allowed. The warden will see you now. Go on in. We're all ready to see you now. Go on in, go on in. And it's never gonna be that way again. No, it's never gonna be that way again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Tell me I was gone, tell me I was blind. Tell me what it is I didn't understand. Like I think that something's wrong. I've been seeing blurry lines. I've been getting exercise when I can. The body will see you now. Go on in. The body will see you now. Go on in, go on in. And it's never gonna be that way again. No, it's never gonna be that way again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Wait up when you finish at the finish line, and is it everything you think it'll be? Sit down for a minute, take it back to the beginning. Take a little bit of time to breathe. The prophet will see you now. Go on in. We're all ready to see you now. Go on in, go on in. And it's never gonna be this way again. No, it's never gonna be this way again. No, it's never gonna be this way again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Never again. It's alright. It's alright. Never again. It's alright. throw me away. Say that you will. Say that it's time to sever all that we've made, all that we've built. Say that it's gone forever. Don't reach for my hand. Don't straighten my tie. Don't tell me I'm great. Look me in the eye. No more delay. Throw me away. Don't throw me away. Say that you won't. Say that we'll stay together. Hold me at bay. Do what you want. Save me some small space forever. For if you must go, I know I'll stay. Lost in that day when you threw me away. Don't throw me away. Say that you won't. Softly into your heart, like a rose in bloom, thorns in place, causing you pain, left there to stay. Throw me away. Throw me away. Throw me away. Say that you will. That one is a heavy tune, and when I recorded it, it's just me and Jay on it. Jay's playing keys, and we added some little drum machine thing later, or Ben did, and but that was just me and Jason Cohen in the booth doing that song together, and he had just told us that he was leaving the band, and so it was a moment that was not lost on either of us, that we were both playing just the two of us together, playing the song, and I'm screaming about throw me away, don't throw me away, throw me away, don't throw me away. All right, I got a few more. You guys doing all right? Yeah, it's a long one. I'll do another one. This is one of the first songs I thought of when we went to this quarantine. Because it talks about us not being together, and the song is called Together, and it's another sad one, but this song, you know, for people who like the song Carrie, or even if you don't, the song Carrie is one where, you know, there's a lot of truth from my life in that song, but then there's also a lot of, like, I just found the truth in the song, and it's not really about me asking someone to marry me. It's because I've never done that. So this song was more of the true story at the time. I'm not the way I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be thankful for what I got. Things are not the way they're supposed to be. She's supposed to be here and she's not. And if I was younger, the stakes wouldn't seem so high. And as I grow older, I fear I'll miss love's call. Well, we couldn't be together as much as we'd have liked, and so we wouldn't be together at all. And I knew the place where I'd bend upon one knee was this one moonlit little spot. And I knew the words I'd say as I showed her the ring I never bought. And if I was older, maybe I wouldn't have hesitated. And if I was younger, I'd have built myself a wall. When we couldn't be together as much as we'd have liked, and so we wouldn't be together at all. And they say what's meant to be, and they say what's meant to be. I gotta get that chord. And they say what's... Man, I'm sorry. And they say what's meant to be, oh, it's meant to be. And if it's meant to be, we'll find our way eventually. I'm trying to believe two hearts so caring and kind are only beaten down by distance and time. Oh, we tried and we tried so hard, it couldn't be our fault. We're just somehow better off not together at all, at all, at all. And I'm not the way I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be alright on my own. And things are just the way they're supposed to be. We're supposed to spread our wings now, I suppose. And as we grow older, who knows? We may look back fondly on ourselves and recall when we couldn't be together as much as we'd have liked, and so we wouldn't be together at all. Sorry, I screwed up the chords on that one towards the end. All right, we're gonna move on from that. I'll do Pacing Like Prince another time, but that was a big song from that record, from the Growing Light record, which we made in New Orleans, put out in 2015. Where are we at? Oh, this was the cover For Hire. Forgot to show that one. That was designed by, Sketchy Design. Megan Dewar out in Western Mass. She did a great record, did a great job. And we had her do this, there's a graphic on the inside, I don't know if you can see it, but it's praying hands with a cigarette. And that seemed to be kind of appropriate for that For Hire record. I thought that was a cool image. And then the one that I just did was Growing Light. John Adams did the cover of that. Another great job by John. I love this one. It's kind of mesmerizing when you look at that image up close. That was the Growing Light record. And then the next one I put out was Stages 3 in 2016. My cousin Sean did this. He did the artwork for that. I got the shrink wrap on it, so it's a little shiny. But it's kind of mirror images of me playing. And this one is, it has 18 songs on it. This is, again, Stages, so it's all solo acoustic and live. And I just kind of went for it. I just kind of put it all on there. I normally wouldn't put 18 songs on a CD or play 50 million songs like I'm doing tonight, but it happens. But that Stages 3 is a really good one for like solo acoustic. It's kind of a good repository of like a lot of my songs from over the years. A lot of my catalog is on there. It's a repository, not a suppository. And 75 and Sunny is on here, of course, which made it on. 75 and Sunny made it to. 75 and Sunny is on a lot of records, but there's a version on this. And this one is the first song on that record, and this has never been on another record. So this is called "The Last One to Love Me Back." Look, I love you, but I go a little crazy when you say that I don't. You say I'm forgetful of the trouble, times when we struggle. But may I remind you of all the good times you've disowned. I haven't quite been the same since I got to see your face every day. Guess I just called to say, before it all fades to black, that you're the last one I love, and you're the last one to love me back. Fish in the sea, but I'm done taking chances. There's been way too much of that. Still I leave a line in the water just to see who might bother. Swimming after something shiny and pretend you weren't the best fit for me. We never had it easy. You're not the last one I held, you're not the last one I had, but you're the last one I love, and you're the last one to love me back. Last one to love me back. I realize chances are slim. Sorry to make you go there again, but if you believe what you just said, that nothing compares to what we had, why bother messing around town with him and him? Look, I'm trying, I'm the one who called, and I'm doing my best to move on. My mind says it's time now to go, but my heart just looks up slowly, unable to know. As I head out on my path, will you be the last one I love, and the last one to love me back? Last one to love me back. And then my 47th song on this 47th record, which was Stages 27. When I was younger, bursting out of bed with that energy. I was like, sugar and milk, ma, sugar and milk, ma. Then I got older. I'm not sure how, but it happened to me. Standing here, sitting here in my living room, thinking about when I was younger, when I was running down the sidewalk. Running full speed down the end of the street saying, come on boys, we're all digging in China. Oh, but now I'm older, brighter, wise beyond my years. At least I feel that way when I got my hot coffee in a paper cup. Burning my lip, may catch fit if I don't take a sip, but I got that cold cream to smooth it out some. Spoonful of sugar, help that medicine go down. Stick in the mud, and now I'm watching the sun spin around and around and around, running down the sidewalk. I missed my bus. But now the 219, well, ain't the only thing that I'm waiting on to come pick me up, cause I'm older, brighter, wise beyond my years. At least I feel that way when I got my hot coffee in a paper cup. Running down the sidewalk, running full speed down the end of the street. But now the 219, well, ain't the only thing that I'm waiting on to come pick me up, cause I'm older, brighter, wise beyond my years. At least I feel that way when I got my hot coffee in a paper cup. Oh, at least I feel that way when I got my hot coffee in a paper cup. Hot coffee in a paper cup. That's on the Stages 3 record. Coming down the home stretch. I knew it was going to be a little long, but I wasn't expecting to go this long. But sometimes when you have an idea, you just got to follow through with it. But thanks so much, everybody, for listening and listening to the record too. And I'm working on a new record now. I know I keep saying that, but I am. Get it out as soon as I can. That's what she said. Oh. Give up your tight hips and let them go. Pick up a foot and put it back on the floor. Don't you put up a fight, don't you put on a show. You just dance, dance, dance. Don't you take no steps, don't think no eyes following you from the wall this time. Don't make no difference, don't you pay no mind. You just dance, dance, dance. Dudes don't dance no more, it seems. Quite content to stare at things, moving around in their dreams, and that's all. Meantime, Sally out shaking the baby. We the friends all laughing out there all on a date. And if I had one lesson that I had to relay, it'd be dance, dance, dance. Just dance, dance, dance. But don't you take no steps, don't take no eyes following you from the wall this time. Don't make no difference, don't you pay no mind. You just dance, dance, dance. Dudes don't dance no more, it seems. Quite content to stare at things, moving around in their dreams, and that's all. That's all, folks. Meantime, Sally out shaking the bait. We the friends all laughing at the rolling a date. And if I had one lesson that I had to relay, it'd be dance, dance, dance. Oh, if I had one lesson that I had to relay, it'd be dance, dance, dance. Oh, if I had one lesson before it's too late, it's dance, dance, dance. All right, folks, coming down the home stretch here. That was from the Stages 3 record, which I put out in 2016. The next record I did was I Was Just Leaving, which came out in 2017. I did that in New Orleans. Anders Osborne produced that record, who I had met on the For Hire sessions. He was the guitar player that was hired through Ben, and I had heard of Anders, but I got to meet him, and he was a crazy guy, and he was amazing on those sessions, and then I saw him. I didn't see him again after the sessions for Hire until a couple years later, at least a year and a half later. He was playing Sterling Stage at the same time that I was, and not the same time. He was playing after us, but he I didn't know if he was going to remember me. I didn't know anything, and I went up to I played. I think it might have been before we played our set at Sterling, whatever year it was. And I went to Anders Osborne's van, not knowing if he'd remember me or anything. And I went in, and he was lying down and resting. And I was like, oh, God. And I was like, Anders, hey, you remember me? He was like, hey, Ryan, how's it going, man? He just came up, and he was, like, super nice. And he was just like, oh, man, good to see you. And he heard me. That's what it was. It was the year I played solo. And he heard me play solo acoustic at Sterling. And he was like, man, we should do a solo record for you. I should produce a solo record for you. And I was like, okay. And then cut to, like, I don't know, it was like at least a year later, I was like at my house, and I was like all depressed. I had you know, like I had broken up with my girlfriend. The band had broken up. I had lost my management. There was kind of just like a lot of change that I sort of didn't fully ask for, or maybe, I don't know. And it was a tough time. And I was sitting there kind of all depressed, and I was talking to my friend Katie, and she said, and I was like, you know, and this was like a year later or something, and I was like, Anders Osborne said he would produce a record for me, like solo. And she was like, well, why don't you do that? And then so the next morning I like called, and before I knew it, we had studio time booked in New Orleans. And to me, I Was Just Leaving. I think that's my best record. But it's not up to me. I mean, to each their own. But that is just, my heart is really on there, and the production really matched where my head and my heart were. And it's really raw. We did the whole thing. We had this beautiful studio in New Orleans called Esplanade, and which is in an old church. And they set up, on the first day, they had a grand piano set up and a drum kit and an organ and everything tuned up and ready to go, and all these interns in this beautiful, huge church room. And we used none of that stuff at all for the whole record. And we did the whole record in the control room of that studio with an amazing engineer named Mark Howard. Who's done, like, I've talked about him before on this, but he's done like U2 and Neil Young and Bob Dylan. He's done everybody. He was Daniel Lanois' engineer for years, and he's just a really special guy. And so we did everything in the studio, and I just poured my heart out, and I think everything just kind of worked. I won't do when I was writing down songs for this, I wrote down like almost every song from that record I wanted to do, which gave me an idea for next week. Next week is going to be the last live stream from this particular apartment, and then I'm moving into a house the next day. So it seems appropriate to play the entire I Was Just Leaving record next week. But I'll play the title track from that, and I'll play the rest of the record next week. But the chorus of this song came to me in a dream, which I've talked about before. And the rest of it kind of came very quickly when I was working on songs. I was taking a break from working on songs, and this one just kind of poured out all the verses. The sun came up, the sun went down. I'm looking for reasons in my head again. Where are you now? Where you've always been. Far from where I am. Did I keep you there? Or did you run? Was it what I didn't do, or was it what I done? I've been hanging out alone, living on my own, just breathing. My heart's with you. Thought we tried to build a home. Turns out I was wrong. I was just leaving, leaving like I do, leaving like I do, like I do. The words came out and they fell to the floor, and I'd pray to the heavens they'd go back in again. Such a simple solution. Turn back around. Little bit of sugar and we're good again. Did I talk too much? Or not at all? Something must be wrong with my head, 'cause I can't recall. And I've been hanging out alone, living on my own, just breathing. My heart's with you. Thought we tried to find a home. Turns out I was wrong. I was just leaving, leaving like I do, leaving like I do. Yes, like I do. Thank you. I'm really proud of that record. And Anders Osborne, I just can't say enough. You know, he's the one who produced it, and he plays everything, almost everything that's not me on the record, he plays. There was this, like, the only bass that was in the studio was the Steinberger bass, which I would, you know, which is like the little ones from the 80s with like no headstock, and they look weird, but they sound pretty cool. But like, I don't know, it was just like that. They were like, oh, here's a bass, let's play it. Like, I would have been like, oh God, we gotta get the right jazz bass, and we gotta get a Fender P bass or something. It's like, I would have just worried about all these things. If left to my own devices, I just overthink things. And that was the beauty of the production that they brought to that record, was they didn't let me overthink. They were just like, no, we got it. They were like, dude, you just told a story with that first take. You know, I would be like, you're nuts. I screwed up that chorus. I gotta fix that. And they'd be like, no, you got it. And they were always right. They left a certain amount of air in there, and we worked quickly, and like they just were all about the vibe, the vibe, man. But Anders was like, that guy cannot half step a note of music. He's like, he's just an amazing dude. He'd be doing a shaker track, and he would just be he's like feeling every note, or he'd listen, like in the playbacks, he'd just like listen. He just like was getting in the zone. Everything was really, I don't know. I just owe that guy so much. And I got to stay with him and his family in New Orleans. And sleep on an air mattress in their family room, or in their dining room, I think. And it was cool. We would just ride bikes to the studio in New Orleans every day, and it was a pretty amazing time. And sort of being able to stay with his family, and seeing Anders would like just be meditating by his pool for 2 hours, and every morning, and going to his meetings. He was like very sober, and still is, and he's just been through hell and back, and just this amazing dude, this like angel of music. And to see him and his family just kind of interacting, and see this family in this house kind of built around a singer-songwriter as the breadwinner and stuff. That was one of the most amazing parts to me. So that's why. So I'm moving next week out of here, and I bought a house, I'm 42 years old. I've never owned a house, and I'm buying a house here in Burlington, Vermont, and it's only 3 miles from where this apartment is, and that's where I'm moving next week. So I think it'll be appropriate. We're literally moving 9:30 the next morning. The movers are coming next week, so on Friday it'll be our last hurrah in this apartment, and so I'll play that record. It seems appropriate. But I'll do a couple from the only other record on there is Woodstock Sessions, which came out in 2018, which was done at good old Applehead Recording in Woodstock, where we had done Patience on Friday and One Fine Color. And Woodstock Sessions is just the name of the sessions that Applehead Recording does. It wasn't the name of my record. It's like I'm part of a series called Woodstock Sessions that they put out. And Marco Benevento's done it, and Rich Robinson, and all kinds of people. Medeski Martin and Wood, I think, did it with Nels Klein, maybe. There's some amazing stuff that's gone on in that room. And I did it with Tall Heights, who had made their record there, coincidentally, and it seemed like a good idea for us to go in there. And we made a live record in front of an audience in a studio, which was a weird night. It was strange. There was this really drunk couple that just kept making noise, and it was like, but we're trying to make a record, and I'm feeling so much pressure of like, we got to get it down tonight. And we played for like a long time, and just, it was the experience that night was not pleasant. And then when I heard the tracks come back for Woodstock Sessions, I was like, oh, okay, these sound really great. They just do really amazing work in that studio. So, and my friend Tall Heights were on it. But this one is, I hemmed and hawed about putting this on the record because I thought maybe I'd put it on something else. I didn't know what I was thinking. I was overthinking again. But this ends up being kind of a cornerstone of the record. And to me, you know, this is what comes to mind when I think of Woodstock Sessions. This is called Looking Glass. Like infinity. It only takes one. Thanks for watching, everybody. I would have called again, but then what if you didn't answer? Much like the times I've called before. I know you reach out when you can, put all your daily chores to bed. And when your heart and your brain isn't racing anymore, busy people in the burning sand, take a look up from your looking glass when you can. I would have moved your way, but then you never would have asked me to. We never put each other out, we just put each other on. And so I keep you on my mantle, right here inside my looking glass. Never far from how I see myself in this. Busy people in the burning sand, take a look up from your looking glass when you can. I would have given you my last dime, 10 silver pennies for to feed you with. I'm full of imaginary gifts. call to tell me that I'm not alone. You write to show me you can reach my home. You mean to tell me that you've known all this time where it is. I'm just playing, but busy people in the burning sand. Take a look up from your looking glass when you can. When you can. I won't take it when your call comes in. I'll sit and listen to it afterwards. I'll call you back when I'm feeling good and done with it. Busy people in the burning sand. Take a look up from your looking glass when you can. Busy people in the burning sand. Take a look up from your looking glass when you can. When you can. Thanks so much for listening tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in every Friday. Hope you're doing all right out there. What a strange time. It's, I don't know. It's almost beyond comprehension, or it is, really. But, you know, it's weird to talk about, but in some ways I've never been happier. And a lot of that, a big part of that is doing these live streams every week and everybody helping me out and just listening and being able to interact this way. I just appreciate it. What's up, Craig Greenberg? I'll get back to our chess games. You just beat me too many times, so I got better. Not for nothing, but you look so lonely out on the back stairs, like you lost the only thing keeping you here. So the rest disappears, all or nothing. You keep one eye open, but you keep both eyes crying. You're recklessly hoping to rearrange time. It ain't no magic trick, dear. Make the clock disappear, all or nothing. Hold on for one more day. I know it's not all getting better. Brief little moments sure have a way of coming together. With a word that can't be spoken, and it only says something. The porch light is shining, but your back is turned to it. You shade the light when your shadow cuts through it. It ain't no magic trick, dear. Get in or get on out of here, all or nothing. Hold on for one more day. I know it's not all getting better. Brief little little moments sure have a way of coming together with a word that can't be spoken, and it only says something. Love, love waits on, craving when it's gone. And if you need some advice, look to the tide and hang on. And hang on, and hang on, and hang on. And hold on for one more day. I know it's not all getting better. Sweet little moments sure have a way of coming together. Coming together. Oh, with a word that can't be spoken. With a word that can't be spoken. Sweet little moments sure have a way of coming around. Coming round. Oh, with a word that can't be spoken. With a word that can't be spoken. With a word that can't be spoken, and it only says something. And it's not for nothing. You've always known it. Trying to be a winner or trying to be hopeless, you get what you look for, my dear. So make the clock disappear, all or nothing. All or nothing. All or nothing. All or nothing. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. That was a journey through all 12 of my records I put out. I never showed the last few covers, but the I Was Just Leaving cover, that was done at my cousin Sean's house up in Maine. And he took the photo, and he has this amazing sort of library room. That's where we took that. And I think just kind of nailed the vibe. It's like I was just leaving, but it's clearly me in a home with bare feet and a beard and pretty depressed. And it just kind of fits the vibe. And then the Woodstock Sessions was done by Mike Tallman, the same guy who's doing a t-shirt with Stretch on it. That'll be out very soon. We're going to try to get him done up pretty quickly. But he made this cover, and my friends Tall Heights are on that record. And that's all I had to say. I'll see you next week. It'll be the last stream from this place, but I'll keep doing these streams. I love doing them. I appreciate you listening, and thanks everybody. I saw some congratulations come in. I hadn't really told everyone until now about the house, but I'm buying an amazing house here in Burlington, Vermont, and I can't even believe it. I never thought I'd be able to afford a house. I still don't know if I can afford a house, but these streams are really kind of making that possible. And I like sort of didn't want to say anything about that for a little while because I don't know. Again, with the overthinking, I'm like, well, I'm a starving artist. I'm not supposed to be able to afford a house. It's like, I don't know. I'm 42 years old. I've been working my ass off at this for 20 years, and I'm proud to buy a house, to agree to pay for a house for many years. And I really have you all to thank for that. I just feel blessed that I get to make a living at this. It's been a trip to go listen to all these records and think about where I was and just all the work that so many people did and all the work that I did and all the people who listened to them and are still listening. And Audubon, You got one, Bon. I'll get you one of those shirts. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next Friday. Thanks for listening. Peace and love. Take care of each other. Be safe. You know, still do what you got to do. We still need a little patience here. Love you very much. See you soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jody. Wish I bought it from you, buddy.